Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Diamandis. I'm very proud to be a member of the board of FII. What an extraordinary event that Richard and the team have put together. I'm also the founder and executive chairman of the XPRIZE Foundation, and it's a pleasure to introduce an amazing woman here. Anousheh Ansari was born in Tehran, grew up with a dream and a passion of spaceflight, came to the US, became a serial entrepreneur. I met her in 2001 when I was searching to raise $10 million for a private competition for spaceflight. You see, I announced a $10 million competition without having the money, but when I tracked down Anousheh, she had just sold her company for a little over $1 billion, and we were able to get her to commit $10 million for a private competition for the first team who could build a spaceship carrying 3 adults up into space, landing safely, and do it again within 2 weeks. The Ansari XPRIZE, as was called, was successful. It launched the commercial spaceflight industry. Virgin Galactic came out of it. And then Anousheh flew privately to the space station, the first female private astronaut for 10 days, to ISS, came back, and 3 years ago, she joined us at the XPRIZE as our CEO. Anousheh, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So I'm curious, after starting 3 successful companies and going as an astronaut privately to the ISS, why did you come back and join XPRIZE as CEO?
You know, being able to go to space changes your perspective on everything. And for me, it was about focusing on what's important. And I felt that there's no other place where I can have the biggest impact in the world than at XPRIZE, because we focus on the biggest challenges, biggest problems that humanity faces, and then we ask the world to innovate and bring about breakthroughs that will solve those problems. And this I want to be my legacy.
Beautiful. Well, you have a number of legacies. So the first XPRIZE, $10 million for private spaceflight. It has driven hundreds of billions of dollars in investment after that. What challenges did the XPRIZE take up next?
We've launched since then close to $300 million worth of prizes. We've awarded most of them. We have 6 active prizes. We're very focused on climate and energy issues right now. 5 of the domains that we're most active are climate and energy, biodiversity and conservation. Health is a big area of focus. Learning, education, and society is another big area of focus for us, and food, waste, water. These are areas that, you hear about it in the news all the time, where the problems are, and there's no reason why we should be plagued by these problems anymore. The rate of innovation can help us solve all of these with long-term thinking.
So I guess the question is, when we normally think about solving big, grand challenges, you have government programs that will fund one, you'll have a company that will start, but an incentive competition, in this case an XPRIZE, is different. Can you talk about what the model is there for crowdsourcing solutions?
Well, the model is what attracted me as an entrepreneur to begin with, because it's a different kind of philanthropy where, instead of 50 cents on a dollar going to your cause, you actually have a multiplier effect. You leverage your money, you leverage your philanthropic investment, and you get 10, 30, 40 times that in terms of investment in the problem that you want to solve. Our risk-taking appetite is greater than any government agency or any corporation, because they have to deal with short-term thinking. So through our platform, we can really understand, look at, where the root cause problems are and how we can really define this problem and attract the world to solve it. So if there are companies or government entities or individuals out there who are passionate about solving a problem, I cannot think of a better platform or better way to solve this problem, because instead of investing in one team, you tell the world to solve those problems, and once they've actually built and demonstrated the solution, that's when you pay. As an entrepreneur, I paid millions of dollars to a group of engineers. 5, 10 years later, I ended up maybe with the exact thing I wanted or not. But here, you don't pay until you actually have the solution delivered to you in your hand.
So I think it would be worthwhile taking a second and talk about what are the grand challenges that you're focused on right now. What are the big shots that we're taking on goal?
Well, right now, last year, Earth Day, we launched the largest private competition in the world. It's extracting carbon out of the atmosphere or oceans at gigaton level. Musk Foundation, Elon has sponsored the prize, and to me, that brought about a lot of innovation that wasn't there before. We had 3,000 teams register and show interest, and about at least 600 of those now are building solutions. And half of them, if not more, didn't exist before this competition. And that's what a competition does. With announcing this challenge to the world, we really inspire innovators who've been sitting on the sideline thinking about a problem to have a reason to jump in and actually start building solutions. We're working on a wildfire competition to detect and extinguish wildfires and do it effectively. And that is a problem that we see in the news all the time. We're looking at coral restoration. We have an active prize in protein alternatives to feed the next billion. Health is another great area for us. During COVID, we were able to have challenges to develop and distribute 10 million rapid COVID tests. That has been very helpful. It was the fastest one that we've ever launched. And we're looking at how we can extend the healthy lifespan of human beings. And in the area of education, we're looking at new ways of learning because our education system is antiquated and we need to upgrade it. So that's another big area of focus for us.
So when you put up a large prize, in this case, we've launched prizes from 10 million to 100 million, and some are growing larger. You're asking the teams from around the world and saying, I don't care where you're from or what you've ever done before, if you solve this, you win. What makes you believe that these entrepreneurs, in some case hundreds of teams or thousands of teams, have a shot at solving these problems that no one else has solved before?
Well, I think you increase your chances. We know that the solution is out there, and instead of just bringing one team, and even if you go hire the best scientists in the world, they're limited by their way of thinking and their own experiences. Why not have, hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, focus on that? And that's where we're going next at XPRIZE, is really expanding our footprint and really calling out to the world and having millions of people engaged in identifying the prizes that we want to focus on, and then taking an active role in solving it. And there's nothing to lose because you don't pay until someone actually solves it. If they don't, which we had some cases, we had prizes that didn't get won, but still we brought about the same level of awareness and investment going into the solution. And maybe they don't get it solved on the timeline we determine, but they can solve it maybe 6 months later or a year later. But the problem will get the attention, will get the investment, and eventually will be solved when we launch a competition.
So we're in MENA. XPRIZE began in Silicon Valley, and with a lot of Google, Elon Musk and Larry Page and those guys involved. But the partners that XPRIZE has have changed. And what's going on here in MENA right now?
Well, we have one of our competition, Feed the Next Billion, was sponsored by government of UAE, and we've expanded our footprint here. We had ANA Avatar competition sponsored by Japan. So even though we're based in Silicon Valley, we're now fully virtual. We have people all around the globe. We do convening of the best minds, best entrepreneurs in the world, in different parts of the world, to bring about conversations around these competitions. And we hope to have partnerships like that. We work with a lot of the universities. They're one of our best partners. We work with a lot of corporations. So We have a global footprint that we hope to expand in Middle East. You know, I come from Middle East, so I sponsored the first competition. So I think we had our roots somehow in Middle East.
We have our
hope
roots
to
here.
ground it, yes.
All right,
Definitely.
we're at exactly our time. Anousheh, will you be here today and tomorrow to meet people?
Yes, I'm actually going to be on a space panel next.
Awesome. All right, let's give it up for Anousheh Ansari, everybody.
Thank you.